Okay, welcome in. JS Torres here, aka Right Brain Boricua, coming at you live and in living color. All right, y'all like my new background? It's I made it myself. The arrow pointing right, the brain obviously with the brain and the Puerto Rican flag meaning Boricua. So Wepa, welcome in. All right, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat. If you want to pull up, y'all start pulling up. Episode 7 is coming at you right now. All right, episode 7. Um, coffee dates, coffee dates. What do we think about them, guys? I'll give my synopsis a little bit, and then when I see people pull up, we're gonna pull them in, and then I have a video and I have contacted this person, okay, to see if she wants to come on and defend herself because this was the I guess she kind of inspired this episode to be about because me and her personally have I personally know this person and we have gone kind of like debated back and forth about the whole coffee date thing. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it into an episode, and here we are. So first and foremost, let's get a little housekeeping together. If you guys can hear me and see me very well, uh, let me know in the chat. Also in the chat, let me know where you guys are tapping in from. Your location and whatnot, so that way I can see like where my audience is being reached. And also, let's hope that knock on wood, the connection gods are on our side. We had a little bit of a late start because of, you guessed it, connection issues, but um, I think we are good at this point. At this point, so let's hope that we can stay good for the duration of the live stream. Okay, I see there's already a few people watching. Welcome in, and also, as you see on the bottom scroll, like the video, like the stream, please, and also subscribe to my channel. I just hit 40 subscribers. All right, 40 subscribers now. So we're on the road to 50. Need about 10 more subscribers. So hopefully we can get to that by the end of the stream. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like if you haven't liked it as you're coming in. You know, just like it. Help me get out into the algorithm a little bit. And yeah, let's get this party started. And also, oh, I forgot to mention uh the notification bell to notify that I am live. Okay, so let's see, anything else. Oh yeah, and if you're feeling generous tonight, I do have my Cash App on the scroll as well, $JNST 3319. If you are generous enough to bless me with a Cash App, God bless you and everything like that, but it's not mandatory obviously. So but all that good stuff is on the bottom scroll there. So there you have it. And like I said, the link is in the chat. So if you wanna pull up, feel free. I will pull you up. Just have have good lighting. Even though my lighting is decent, thankfully I have my light here to help enhance the glow that I have. Yeah. At least be on camera backstage. You don't have to be on camera when you are actually like live with me, but you can also just be on camera unless I know you, that we have been on panels before, then I know who you are, then you don't have to. But for the new people, just come on camera, all right, before I pull you up. And then once I pull you up, then it's up to you whether or not you want to be on camera or not. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and start this off. All right. So coffee dates. here's my thing, right? And I'm gonna talk about this for a little bit before I pull up this lady's video if I can find it. So coffee dates, right? So as someone, as a man, right, you want to be able to meet a person and get to know them. Get to know them under a no pressure, low key environment, right? And one of those environments is, asking. So I don't drink coffee. That's the main thing, right? I don't drink coffee, but I know that serve coffee, but also serve other things as well. Like for example, I guess the world famous Starbucks, right? They have. I like to get their refreshers, um, especially the mango dragon fruit refreshers. Like I like those things. So that's what I'm gonna. That's my coffee. That's my version of coffee. Anything like juice related, anything that has a little bit of sugar, that has a lot of electrolytes that'll hydrate me. Like none of this like caffeine and all this coffee stuff. But I get the concept, right? I get the concept. So by the way, y'all, let me know if, like I said, if I'm coming in loud and clear. Um, I did have to I did have to end the initial stream because I was already live when the connection shut down. But now that it's been restored, I had to get out of the studio and come back into the studio to recreate this. So, but to those, y'all should have the links. Y'all should be notified of when I'm live and everything like that. So, but at any rate, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and then we'll get to talking. Okay. So this lovely young lady here, her name is Erica. Okay, and I know this lady personally. Okay, we're practically neighbors. So we live in the same town and everything like that. And we have met each other out at outings. She runs a couple of groups in the Tampa area and everything like that. And this kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and y'all give me your thoughts.
Coffee dates. Now, I know I'm late to the conversation on this, but let me just drop my 2 cents. I go to Starbucks to sit down to clear my mind. I get my cold brew. I'm in my zone. One for a coffee date is a place of my solace. It is not a place for me to go meet a guy who wants to get into my underwear. I don't do coffee dates. Now, I know I'm late to the conversation on this, but let me just drop my 2 cents. I go to Starbucks to sit down to clear my mind. I get my cold brew. I'm in my zone. One for a coffee date is a place of my solace. It is not a place for me to go meet a guy who wants to get into my underwear.
Okay, so that's one video that she posted, right? And the ironic part about it is that we have met at a start. We've never dated or anything like that, but I have seen her at a Starbucks before, and we talked at Starbucks before. So even though she loves Starbucks, but yet she don't love it enough to have somebody take her and more than likely pay for what she has also. But she's above that. Here's another one that I stumbled across. one here.
Theory about dating and relationships and how y'all talk this big game, yet
She's a dating and relationship person too.
But the difference is I talk a big game and I walk that game. So anyway, you guys, and before the PhDers come for me in the comments, because I know you are, let me just say this, that this.
So she's probably talking about me, and that's fine because like I said, I already told this lady, I told her, like, listen, I'm going to talk about you on YouTube. Now it's up to you whether or not you want to come and defend yourself and have a conversation about it, or beware, because I got some things to say about this. Let's keep going.
Is my life. It is my life. It is my life. And if I don't want to do a damn coffee date for my life, I'm not going to do it.
And that's the problem right there. So we get that it's your life, your life, your life, your life. Okay. We get that. But you're turning down a lot of potential husband material type of men because you are too stubborn and too egotistical to realize that a coffee date isn't that bad. A coffee date isn't something that that you want to like rub, like turn your neck at and be like, whatever. That coffee date, really? Like what the fuck I look like taking a coffee date? That's what you sound like, Erica. And I've told her this before, and I'm gonna say it again on live here, is that you are not the type to just and given, right? You know, you're a gorgeous lady and everything like that, but it's the attitude is going to derail any type of potential relationship dynamic you're going to have in the future, because these men out here are not playing with you. Like, you want to play in men in all these dudes' faces? Okay, we're not going to play with you either. And you are going to stay single, even though, you know, you love being single, but yet you want to come out here and be like, well, I'm not happy with being single. Because there's times where, and I follow this lady too, like she has her moments to where, like, damn, I wish I had a man or whatever. But if you're gonna keep blowing men away because you want to set the coffee date, well, then that's on you, sweetheart. That is on you.
I don't mind being single. I like my company. I like me. I love me. Because half of the people that's telling me I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life is single. So guess what? I'm gonna be single, and
everybody gonna be single. All right. So what else is new? Like, you can't. That's not a okay. So if it's not a fear tactic that people are saying to you that I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, then you, ma'am, shouldn't be able to say to them, oh, well, y'all gonna be single for the rest of your life too. Because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth when you do that shit. Because my thing about it is that, okay, if all these men, I'm gonna say men because I don't think she has any female friends that will tell her that, oh, sis, you're gonna be single for the rest of your life if you keep doing that. I highly doubt that's going to happen with women. So it's men that are telling her that, you know, oh, you're just gonna be single for the rest of your life because you can't accept the coffee date. I'm not one of those guys that are saying that, but what I am saying is that if you keep on with your attitude and your demeanor and you being above certain things because you know your worth, and you know the man that I want shouldn't ask me for a coffee date, how dare he, and shit like that. Well, the man that you want, guess what? There's gonna be your name's Erica, there's gonna be a Nicole that will love a chance to go out with this guy to go get some coffee. And then you are gonna sit there and be like, well, goddamn, why am I not getting the type of man that I want? Because I feel like every type of man is going to do his first date how he wants to do his first date. If she stumbles upon a man that will accept like going out to a nice restaurant as a first date, then he better do it for you, because there ain't too many men out here that is going to, especially men of a certain caliber, right? And I'm not talking about those men that are determined, that deemed high value. I think we are kind of like going past that whole high value thing. Okay. So I'm not gonna, on my channel, I don't believe in high value man, high value woman. I believe in just value. Like, what type of values do you bring to a person? What type of intangible or tangible things can you offer someone? Like, we're not talking dollar amount, we're not talking status, we're not talking any of that shit. What I'm talking about is that just go on a coffee. If you like him enough, and if he wants to take you to coffee, go to fucking coffee. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see why women like her can go and just shit on coffee dates like she is shitting on coffee dates like she is.
You gonna be single. The difference is, I'm okay with being single. And I'm okay not going on no damn coffee date.
Then if you're okay with being single, Erica, stop coming on the internet and saying that, oh, where my man at? Oh, I need a man, this and that. Oh, where is he at? I want him, this and that. Like, if you love being single, then have your content be about you being single. Let's keep going.
I have a Keurig at home. I have Javi's coffee at home. But my time is currency. My time is valuable. I just wanted to put that out.
So is my time. So is any other guy's time that you're gonna be with. Okay? Yes, your time is very valuable. So is mine. So is anybody else's that decides to, have the cojones, I would say, to ask your ass out on a date. And I'm pretty sure you're getting asked out on dates all the time. Now, are you accepting the dates? Obviously not as far as coffee is concerned, but if he takes you to a nice restaurant or something like that, or let's just say, I don't know, what's a nice restaurant that's I'm not gonna say like your Ruth's Chris or anything like that. It's not that extravagant, but I can't even think of one right now. Nothing like not Olive Garden or anything like that, but like, I guess, I don't know. But you get what I mean. Like, we just gotta like not be able to just frown upon certain type of dates, because you never know, that person could be your person, and you're turning them down because of a damn coffee date. Hi, Zyrax. How you doing? Good to see you on. Yes, ma'am. All right. You're up and working. I am. And we got good connection so far. So I appreciate you being on. The link is in the chat if you want to pull up, you want to talk. I would love to have a couple of people on, but we're going to finish with this one. All right.
There in universe for all those to see and hear. And if you see me on a dating app such as Facebook Dating or BLK or Bumble, don't swipe on me. You're not going to change that. Have an amazing, beautiful Tuesday. Let me go.
And that's the attitude is gonna keep your ass single for a long. Now I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say the rest of your life, okay? Because I think that, like, knowing her personally, I think that she is going to ultimately find her person, right? I believe that in her, okay? But with that attitude right there at the very end, I don't know if you caught that, right? She is going to be ending up single for a long time because of that. That's just my sentiments on that, right? So, again, Erica, sweetheart, I care for you as a person, okay? I wish you could come because you like to be on TikTok doing your little reels and doing your thing out there, and shout out to you, right? You know, no hate. There's no hate on this side of the corner, all right? But and I told you this, we debated this before, right? Your attitude and your demeanor and how you are just so like that modern woman type is not going to yield the results that you are going to want. Okay? It really isn't. It really isn't. Okay? And I'm just being honest, because I'm an honest person. I call it as I see it. I know that, like, um, you know, people don't like to hear the truth, especially like certain women. They don't like to hear uh, what's real and what's good for them, instead of just pandering and just saying things that they want to hear. No, I give it to you straight up. And so if you keep on with this attitude, sweetheart, it's not gonna work for you. I promise you. Okay. So that was the basis of what I want this episode to be about. Is what do you think about coffee dates? Would you accept a coffee date? Yes or no? And tell me why. All right. So the link is in the chat. Lady Zyrax, if you are still on board, if you want to pull up, feel free. Anybody else that wants to pull up, I sent invites out to a few people, and haven't really gotten back to certain people. Now, I did say, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, then leave a chat on where you're at, where you're located, and we can go from there. All right. Look at Zyrax. Zyrax, look at you. I'm gonna leave this comment up here for a little bit, and I hope that Erica, you are watching this, you are seeing this. See, Zyrax is a happily married woman, okay, with a husband, with kids, right? You have kids, right, Zyrax? I think you do. All right, she's got it made, right? My first date with hubby was a coffee date with a wink. Because I like to do the wink too. All right. Again, nothing is wrong with a coffee date, in my opinion. Nothing is wrong with a. You know what? I'll take it a little beyond a coffee date. Somewhere where we're in an intimate setting, right? Where it's quiet, there's no loud noise around. You can be one-on-one. Like, I have done plenty of dates where me and the woman just sit down one-on-one and just start having conversations with one another. Like, that's what the first date is supposed to be about. It's about getting to know the person in front of you, getting to know them as people first, right? And then when you start to see who they are a little bit, then your energy or your attraction levels or what have you can either grow or not grow. It all depends on how it is inside, like what your mindset is. What is your intent, you in your intentionality. That's a major thing too, your intentionality. So my intention on taking a woman on a coffee date for a first date is, my intention is to keep it low pressure, low key, and to just sit and get to know, because coffee shops, um books, libraries, bookstores, what have you, like those are quiet, intimate settings for a man and a woman can sit down and get to know one another. Married 13 years with 3 munchkins. Well, congratulations to you, Zyrax. You, hey, you set the stand. You're setting the standard for how marriages should be and relationships should be ran in this day and age. And I'm going to tell you something, Zyrax. I'm pretty sure your husband is a great man. I'm pretty sure he chose a great woman, and y'all are living the life together. And it's wonderful to see people that I know, whether it's in person or over the internet, having these success stories, having these successful marriages that are going on right now. Because this is what's lacking in the community, is people genuinely getting together, getting to know one another, and just simply like enjoy each other's company. That's what the date, that's what the meet and the getting to know portion, and then going into the dates, that's what it should be about. It should be no expectations, no pressure, none of that shit. You and her just sitting there, just tell me something about yourself. What do you like to do for fun? What are some things that you enjoy doing? Hobbies, just to name a few. Like, what are some things that what's a random Friday night look like to you? What's a random Sunday night look like to you? You know, what do you do for a living? How are you? How are you? How are your past relationships like? So, like, what type of person are you to hopefully like can become something of one another? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like just some example questions I ask on dates, and also like when I get to know women. That's those questions that, if you're a man, if you're watching this, and if you're struggling out there trying to ask like women questions though, because I do hear a lot that women that men can't keep conversations going. Men don't know how to communicate. Men can't hold themselves down talking about anything under the sun other than sex and money. Okay? And again, I said this before on my platform. I'm going to say it again. If you're a man and if you want a genuine connection, let me go solo here. If you are a man, if you're looking for genuine connection, right? Leading with your wallet and leading with sex is not going to get it done. Now, to a certain type of woman, that may do it for you, but, and this is a big but, who's to say that that woman is going to be accepting of your uh, money and what you have to offer with your body, for her to be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with this guy. Because you just, at the end of the day, you just never know what that woman's mindset is until you get into her mind. Get into her mind first, and then maybe, just maybe, the body will come after. Agree or disagree, ladies? What say you? All right. Let's get back to the chat. Zyrax says perfect setting to get to know one another. Again, take it from a woman that's married for 13 years, Erica. If you're ever watching it, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I might tag her in this because she need. I'm telling you, and I want my homegirl to be successful in the love department. I want this for her. This is not. I am not attacking her as a person. I'm not trying to, go behind her back and say wild shit about her because she is a friend of mine, right? And as a friend, I'm gonna be real with you, but I'm also going to help you. Like if you want the help, if you accept the help, okay. Hello, Jessica. Jessica Velez. Welcome in. Welcome in. Jessica says, agreed. Why waste time? Both our time is valuable. Exactly. And now that was the thing. Like, I don't know if you heard, and I'll play it one more time for y'all. Just to hear the fuckery that she is spewing out. All right.
Add to my already known theory about dating and relationships and how y'all talk this big game, yet do something totally different. But the difference is I talk a big game and I walk that game. So anyway, you guys, and before the PhD or
what type of walking in your game do you do, Erica? I really would like to know. And if I see you, and next time I see you out in person, I'm going to ask you that question because you sounding very cocky, like a woman. Let me tell you something, right? Me personally, I don't really like a cocky woman. I really don't. Cocky women to me are a turnoff.
Not cocky, I'm cocky.
As an audience member in the background, no, I'm just kidding. Shout out to my homegirl Joy. She says in the background, not cocky, it's confidence. Okay, well, there's a difference. Just like how women can sense men being confident and cocky as a difference, we men can sense that shit too. And by her saying this, right, it is giving very cocky, is giving ego. Like your ego is bigger than a man's ego. Now, if you want a type of relationship dynamic that your ego has to be equal or above a man's ego, be my fucking guest. But again, the type of man that you desire, the type of man that you are that you want to attract, oh, believe you me, if you gonna come out the gate with that ego tripping bullshit, he's gonna run for the hills. And he's gonna run to, like I said, a Nicole or a Zyrax, right? And Zyrax knows how to be a lady. Zyrax knows to put her ego to the side, right? And let the man be a man.
come for me in the comments because I know you are. Let me just say this, that this is my life. It is my life. It is my life. And if I don't want to do a damn coffee date for my life, I'm not going to do it. I don't mind being single. I like my company. I like me.
And again, ego. You can just sense the energy and the ego like coming out. Like, that's not cute, mama. It's not. All right. And listen, right? So when you're on social media, right? And see, I try to be just as authentic on social media as I am in real life. So for those few of you that know me in real life, know that like I I keep it 100 on here and in real life too. I don't mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Okay. All right. We did that shit back, 4 or 5 years ago, having to wear a mask and shit. And I think that's where a lot of people got fucked up in the head. Is that, when we're wearing masks, like we don't see the whole picture of our face. We don't see the whole like persona of a person when we have masks on. That's why we have them. It's to hide something. And also is to protect an image, right? But here I am with my mask off and not putting a face, not hiding behind a computer, not hiding behind a photo or whatnot. Actually, because that's why I in my live streams, you're gonna see my face. Now, if I'm on other people's panels or if I'm on like other creators' channels and stuff, it is an option for me to show face or not. But on my platform, on my channel, on my episodes, you will see my face. I'm not gonna hide from anyone. Jessica says, we have lost the purpose of dating. There are levels to dating. Okay, you said two different things, right? Now, the first part I do agree with. We have definitely lost the purpose. And I think dating has become very transactional, to which I may do an episode on that in the near future, because I think that there's a bunch of social media videos out there about the whole transactional dating thing. We can make it into a whole episode in itself. So, but yes, I do agree that we have lost the purpose of dating, especially in 2025. Now, towards the end of 2025, going into 2026, it's not getting any better. And I don't know how. I don't have the answers right now to see what can be done, what can be better. All I can say is that go into the settings that you're most comfortable in, and hopefully someone can attract you or you can attract them and y'all can hit it off. And if you're the type that will want to go to get a coffee or a smoothie as a first date, then if she's accepting of it, then go with her. But what we're not gonna do, okay, ladies, what we're not gonna do is shame other ladies that are okay with coffee dates. And I have another video that describes that as well. I'm gonna finish this one up, and then we'll go to the other video.
I love me. Because half of the people that's telling me I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life is single. So guess what? I'm gonna be single and you gonna be single. The difference is I'm okay with being single. And I'm okay not going on no damn coffee date. I have a Keurig at home. I have Javi's coffee at home. But my time is currency. My time is valuable. I just wanted to put that out there in the universe for all those to see and hear. And if you see me on a dating app such as Facebook Dating or BLK or Bumble, don't swipe on me. You're not going to change that. Have an amazing, beautiful Tuesday. Let me go.
All right. That's enough for her. But yeah. Erica, my friend, it ain't looking good for you, sweetheart, out there. Now she can come on right after this and be like, you don't know what the hell you talking about. You don't know my life. You don't know my dating situation. Okay, fair. But if you keep putting this type of shit out on social media, then what else am I gonna think other than just you struggling just as bad as most of us single people are? Like being single in 2025 is very stressful. I'll say stressful. It's stressful because it's stressful if you are trying to find a partner. It may not be as stressful if you just accept the fact that, I ain't checking for nobody. I don't need nobody right now. I'm not in a good emotional state to date, which is fine. That can be true for a lot of people, a lot of single people as well. Not knocking that, right? But for people out there that are trying and are putting themselves out there, it's stressful. It's very stressful. Go look back at my last episode, episode 6, about my time dating in Atlanta, and you'll see why I say that being single in this day and age is stressful as fuck. All right, Zyrax agrees with Jessica. Of course, that's a fact. Maybe your friend just has higher standards for a first date. Fine, she does. But again, the point is that she is online basically shitting on coffee dates as a date. I don't know as a first date, but as a date period. And that we shouldn't be doing it. If you yourself don't like to go on a coffee date as a first date, please pull up and tell me why. Tell me why not. Because I like to hear from the other side. Like I want to. If you are a woman or a man, and if you are above coffee dates, hit the link. Let me post it on the chat one more time. Hit the link and tell me why you are above a coffee date. I'll wait. Sometimes, JS, only sometimes I know how to put my ego to the side so my man can shine. But you know what? See, and this is the personality that will make a woman like Zyrax a wife. You want to know why? Is because like she knows her place. She knows what, and it sounds like I'm big upping Zyrax to the max because she deserves it, right? Because in the short time that I've known her on YouTube and on these panels, right, she has been the type of person, and if you and Zyrax, I know you've been on my last episode. If you want to come on this time around, please, like, I'm bigging you up because I want you to come on and explain to my audience, explain to my peoples out there, like how are you able to do it? Like, how are you able to not be egotistical, not be a modern type of woman that has the attitude or the demeanor or the ain't nobody who won't check me type of vibe, because you don't display that. And it's awesome to know, and it's awesome to see, because someone like you can basically, I don't know, like just shift how dating is, and to shift it more into a positive way. That's what I'm about. How can we shift dating into a more positive way? Okay. Got more comments here. Jessica says it sucks here in Atlanta. You know what, Jessica? I was in Atlanta. Please, Jessica, I know you're a new subscriber and everything like that, but check out my last episode, episode 6, on my time dating in Atlanta, and you let me know if how your dating experience compares to mine, and see if we are similar or different in those aspects. I would love to hear your opinion about that at a later time. But or on this one, like it doesn't matter, since you are in Atlanta, right? I was just there for a couple of months. Like I said, go back to my last episode. I told you guys all about it. Lady Zyrax, she was on panel with me, and we had a blast talking about my dating experience in Atlanta. Trust me, it's an interesting one. And honestly, and let me tell you something, right? And I had a conversation about this the other day with someone. I can't remember who, but like since my 2 months in Atlanta, I I went on a handful of dates, like 4 or 5 dates, right? And it wasn't hard. Now, granted, I said this in my last episode. I'm gonna say it on this one. In Atlanta, it's a 30-to-1 ratio, 30 women to one straight man, and I emphasize straight because in ATL, there's a whole lot of DL brothers out there, a lot. And I said this on a date when I was out there to this one lady. I told her like, yo, I'm gonna feel bad for y'all because there ain't gonna be enough of us to be around, especially if you want that guy to yourself. You either gonna have to accept the reality that there's not enough men in your city to date one. Now, if you find one to yourself and date and go and be happily ever after, you won the Atlanta lottery. Okay, you did, straight up. And I have people in Atlanta now, tuning in and are gonna tune into this. So I'm gonna need y'all to listen very carefully, especially if you're a woman. And I know y'all know this. I know the ratio is heavily favored with y'all, right? So, or excuse me, the ratio is against y'all because of the fact that, like I said, now when I say 30, I'm not exaggerating. People be like, "Oh, you exaggerating." Like, come on, it's not that many women to men. Yes, it is. Yes, the fuck it is, because I'm telling you, like when I was out, all I saw was women. There might have been one event I went to in my 2 months, 2.5 months in Atlanta that I saw more men, or the ratio was just about even. And it's a wonder why I was able to acquire a bunch of dates while I was up there because, well, my awesome personality, and my good looks, my halfway decent looks. But also, I know how to talk to women. I know how, and I'm not trying to sound cocky, okay? I'm really not. It's the See, this is the difference with the cocky and confidence. See, I'm confident enough to come up here and display to y'all that um, I know how to interact and how to talk to women. Like, it's not that hard. Like, they're humans as well, and if we treat them as such in the beginning from jump, then it's not going to be hard for you to acquire the type of women that you want, right? Or at least give yourself a puncher's chance. So yeah, it does. But yes, I do agree. Dating does really suck in Atlanta. Like it really does. Jessica says, I say levels, meaning go to a coffee date, museum. That's a good one too. Museum. I forgot to mention museum, right? Museum, dinner, you never know. But I do want to eat with someone I'm not. But I don't. I think she meant don't want to eat with someone I'm not into. LOL. Well, of course. Well, more than likely, I mean, there's women out here that don't like a dude, but yet we'll go eat with them because guess what? They ain't gotta pay. If they know they ain't gotta pay, then shit. I don't like your ass. I'm not attracted to you in any way, shape, or form. But you want to ask me to go to dinner and you paying? Fuck it. Why not? If I was listen, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I was a woman, and if I'm in the state that I am, financially or emotionally or what have you, if I'm being offered a free meal, I'm gonna take it. Now, there have been very seldomly though, but there have been times where I've had a free meal. I've had women pay for dates, and I'm gonna tell you something. Those dates are lovely. Those dates are top tier because listen to me. If I ain't gotta pull my wallet out, pull any type of money out to pay, I'm gonna just be sitting like this and just be like, "Yep, she got me." Mm-hmm. No, no waitress, no waiter. Give it to her. She got it. I'm just sitting here looking. And you know what? And before anybody comes on here and be like, "Oh, this is why men want to be women. Men want to shut the fuck up." Okay, I'm gonna ask you respectfully to shut the fuck up because y'all asked for this. Okay, y'all want equality. We're gonna give it to you. There was a train coming, so I had to mute. Jessica says, so level step one, coffee. If you guys are, I guess you meant vibing, keep it going. Suggest a walk, the park, or more time somewhere and go from there. Totally agree. Totally agree because listen, it's supposed to be low pressure. It's supposed to be just you and her getting, or you and him getting to know each other. Like, let's stop with the whole like transaction. Like, look, when I say transactional dating, I think everybody knows what I mean by that, right? And if you don't know, then it's simply put like this: our biggest asset is money. A woman's biggest asset is her body. Okay, and those two things are always gonna clash because somebody is like a game, and with a few and with situations, it's like a game of chicken. Who's gonna blink first, right? Typically, the man has to because obviously she's not gonna give up her body for free. I mean, I suggest against that if you're a woman. Now, if you're a woman and if you're wanting to give up your body for free, that's on you. But I'm gonna look at you away and be like, hmm, that's weird, but do you, boo boo? You know, it's your body. I'm not gonna have. The only autonomy of anybody's body that I have is my own, and that's real. I don't care if we're married. If we're married, then yes, you know, you belong to me type shit. But it's your autonomy over your body is still yours. You do what you want with it. All right. Zyrex says, "Give me a few." Okay, it's been more than a few, but I got you. Will do. Yes, go check out. Yes, go check out episode 6. Yes. Uh, it starts by lowering your standards a bit. So, and I think that like when I'm just gonna say people, I'm not just gonna put it all on the women, right? Because there are men out here that have high standards too. All right, and there are men out here that are very delusional as well. Hell, you can put me on that delulu list because I'll be the first one to admit that yes, I can be a little delusional because I'm picky. I'm picky, but I'm picky about finding a compatibility partner. I'm not too picky about sexual partners because I view sex a little differently than actual partnership, right? Because like don't want to be able to, I guess, like I said, the leading with that, I don't do that because the outcomes are not going to be my favorite when that happens. So just when she meant by lowering your I think I know what you mean by that, right? Lowering your standards. Basically, don't show off your ego. Don't show off you are above certain things if that person doesn't know you yet. Such as when you meet someone, that initial conversation. And then if the conversation turns well, then it goes to exchanging information, whether exchanging numbers, exchanging what have you, right? And then it goes to communication over the phone, over the internet, what have you. And then it goes to meeting up and actually dating. So, yeah, good stuff. Thank you guys for commenting. All right. Take a drink. JS is saying the StreamYard has ended. That's weird. Are you able to click on the link? Maybe let me do this. Oh yeah, I do have another video I want to show y'all. Okay. So I don't know why I would be saying that, Zyrax, but if you can, again, you still trying to get in the hang of this YouTube shit, and hopefully I'm not wasting my breath here, because that would be no bueno. But all right, so I'm gonna play this video for you. All right. You see the title, Coffee Dates Are Cheap and Low Effort. So woman turns it down and takes herself on a date. All right.
First date, go ahead and block him right now. Quickly. And if he's asking you out for coffee as a first date, go ahead and block him right now. Quickly. Men only ask women out for coffee for the first date if 1, they're cheap, and 2, he's not actually sure he's...
Why must women always want to go the cheap route when it comes to coffee? Or you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Maybe I got the wrong link. And I think I figured it out. That should be the link. All right, that should be the link right there. Like I said earlier, I had to, I started going live right at 8. I had connection issues once again. So I had to end the initial stream, go back and create a new stream. And this is the new stream. So it's a new link. So this should be the link right here to pull up and come on panel. While that's going on, I'll continue with the video. Fair use, by the way.
Don't you want a man that's sure he's interested in you? I've heard from the horse's mouth themselves. Men have told me they only take women on coffee dates if they're not sure they want to pursue the girl. So,
hey y'all, welcome back to Majestic Girl Show. My name is Janine. If you are new here, if you're new, of course. Ladies, we have to stop being so entitled and delusional. Okay, so when it comes to y'all remember last year, yeah, it was last year, right? When the whole Cheesecake Factory situation came out, or was that 2023? That was 2023.
Actually, I do remember the whole Cheesecake Factory thing. And listen, that was wild too. That was very wild with the whole Cheesecake Factory thing. Like she had recorded. I'm gonna find that actually. I'm gonna let her talk. I'm gonna find that. We're gonna talk about that one too.
2024. Whatever. The whole Cheesecake Factory thing where the woman was like, I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory. It was this whole thing where the women came out with where they're not going to go on dates and how they not dealing with this or accepting that. Like they wanted to go to, these 5-star restaurants, and these Michelin chefs and all these things for a first date. That man needed to spend a certain amount of money and what they were not going to tolerate, right? So I want to share this clip of this woman declining a coffee date. Let's come back and talk about it.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr.
This right here, this woman right here is going to be. See, this is the type of woman that you turn down a coffee date with someone, but yet you rather took yourself to coffee. See, that goes to show that you're not trying to check for a man. Date yourself. Go ahead, boo. Don't come out on social media talking about flaming the guy because he wanted to take you on a coffee date, but instead you told his ass, nah, I'm good on that. But yeah, you want to go on a coffee date on your own. So that tells me that you deserve to be by yourself. You deserve to be single. You deserve everything that's coming to you when it comes to your single life. Because this is what you deserve.
Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
So she said no.
Okay, fine. But don't be an asshole about it. Don't be an egotistical asshole about it. Just like how you were doing in this video. I'm fine with everything that she said right just then and there, but it was an asshole way of saying, yeah, fuck that motherfucker for trying to take me to coffee. I do that shit myself. I'll come up as soon as you're done with the video. Okay. You can come up now if you're like that was pretty much it on the video front. I'll let her talk a little bit more about her reaction because I discovered this lady a couple of days ago, and I think that she is an advocate of men and male nature, I guess. Still don't really know much about her, but I'm gonna hear her out and see what she has to say about this.
And she went and bought her a full meal. And I have so many thoughts. To me, what I heard of how she decided to go spend her time, coffee wasn't enough. These women want to go eat. Some of these women, honestly, y'all, they don't even spend the money on themselves. They don't buy themselves nice things. They wait for men to spend the money on them. So they don't take themselves to nice restaurants. They don't buy themselves these expensive bags that they say they want, the shoes. They need somebody else to buy them. Because number one, they might not be able to afford it, right? They just can't afford it. Or they're just too cheap to spend it on themselves, so they want to get somebody else to do it.
Ooh, ladies. She said a word there. I know that's gonna ruffle some of y'all ladies' feathers right there. Okay.
So coffee wasn't enough, right? That wasn't enough because you're looking for a meal. You're looking for somebody to take you somewhere that you ain't ever been before and spend their money. And I just feel like women just make it so hard. Like, I'm not saying there's a lot of comments.
Women make it so hard. See? I like this because she's absolutely right. Why do y'all make it so hard for yourselves? Dating should be easy. Dating should be simple. Dating should be something that you look forward to and enjoy. Not make it stressful and difficult and hard and just like, ugh. Because of you, he didn't want to take you where you wanted him to take you? Really?
That was made on her post regarding her just being should be grateful that somebody asked her on a date. And that's just based on her looks, like we just being all the way honest. But I do believe that we as women need to stop just making it so hard. Like, it's not going to hurt you to go for a coffee date. It's really not. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't know where that might lead to. We might sit there and have coffee, talk.
What did I just say earlier, right? She just took the words right out of my mouth, what I said earlier. You don't know what the potential is of that person, but you already killed any type of potential you have with them because you are above a coffee date. You are above that, miss. And again, just like my friend earlier, right? You're killing all these opportunities that you have with these men that could potentially be your man, but your ego still wants to get in the way. Check your egos at the doors, ladies. Okay? Go on the coffee date. Go on a walk the lake, walk the park, what have you. Do something simple. Like, it's supposed to be simple. Museum. Somebody mentioned museum earlier. Go to a fucking museum and look at art. Look at the finer things, like beauty in art and in life. That should be what dating is about. Not, oh, I'm gonna spend a rack on your ass, and then I hope that you like me afterwards, or I hope that I can get something in return for me investing so much money into you. Because now, when men invest money at least in the triple digits, we're starting with a triple digit figure on you, then guess what? Now his expectation is that, what am I gonna get in return? It better be them cheeks. Because that's the first thing that they're going to go for. It's not your money. It's going to be your body. Point blank, period. All right?
For a while, then we might go over here and grab lunch. Just because just how the conversation might go, how the date might go, you never know. But when I hear you saying, I went over and it brought me this, brought me that, I had this, a full bowl, this, a Dr. Pepper, you looking for a meal. You want a date that consists of real food. So I just find it so interesting how women will say these things of how they just decline this stuff, right? But then they'll also come back and say men are not interested in them and they're not approaching them. So if a man did really approach you, which some people don't even believe that to be true, if he did approach you, why couldn't you have still went on that coffee date and still had your whole spread of food after? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have done both. You went on a date with this guy, got to know him, maybe you liked him, maybe you didn't, and still left and went and got you something to eat, right? The same thing that you did after, why not? You know, to me, it just gives something to boost your ego. Like, I want to be able to say that I told a man no. Like, especially if you don't have that many options, You are looking to be able to just say you had the option to say no. The first time you can say no, some women just want to be able to use their power to do so, and you have the right to do so. But when you don't get that many options, when it comes to being asked on dates and people want to take you out, you want to abuse that power just to come online and tell the story, right? So as I said, not
All right, I'm gonna pause it there, and I'm going to add Zyrax to the stage. Hello.
Hi, JS. Can you hear me?
You're a little low volume wise, but I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second.
We can let's try it. Let's work with this, okay? All right. So before I move on with the video, and I'm not gonna play the whole 14 minutes of it. I'm just gonna I think she said enough. I think she said enough for me to convince that you know what, she gets it. Like this is a type of woman that, okay, if I were to ask her out, and my thing is smoothies, right? If I were to ask her, yo, let's go to Planet Smoothie, on the first date, I'm pretty sure she won't mind. And that's the type of woman that she will have a better chance of finding a man, her type of man, and she will also put herself in situations, right, where now the men aren't just after her for one or two things, and she's not after the man for one or two things as well, like the whole transaction thing I was saying earlier. So Zyrax, what say you about the topic, the conversation, and this just the girl talk and her thoughts?
Well, of course, coffee date is, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I put in the chat, I do feel like it's definitely like a good setting to, if you want to get to know the other person. And so I feel like, I mean, well, first of all, it's very important that you know what you want, as a woman, and the guy, he knows what he wants, right? If he wants a relationship, I mean, like a coffee date would be like a perfect place to to um to find that out, to ask and find that out before you go and any further, right? Because like what Jessica I think said in the chat, that my time is valuable just as the other person's time, so you don't want to waste time. And and so if you both find out that you both want relationships, then you could proceed. And so that's why I don't see anything wrong with the first date being a coffee date. And now, so I understand there's women that has high standards that wants the 5-star restaurants and stuff. If that's not for you, if that's not for I'm talking about to the men. If that's not for you, like, just leave those women be.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So what started that standard of the whole 5-star, like, you better take me here, you better spend at least $300 on me on the first date? Like, where did that come from? Like, where did it start in your mind?
I think the internet, because we have easier because of the internet, we have easier access to men and women of all levels, right? And so you see women posting pictures, oh, look at me at this 5-star hotel with like I don't even know if they post the dude, but then they'll post like the plate of food and stuff like that. So I'm sure like the average person will be like, if she's average, I'm average, she's getting that, how come I'm not getting that too? So therefore I might raise my standards up, like, no, if someone's able to do this on this income, when they're just like an average working person, then if you want to date me, you should be able to do this too. And so that's just my opinion, though.
So again, it goes back to ego, and it goes back to, oh well,
Yes.
she's doing it, why not me? It's the envy, I guess, because like, and also men are envious too. Like, we like we would go on social media and we would like see things and like see how this dude's got bread and he's doing this type of things, whatever. He's nice cars, nice houses, whatever. He's flexing and flossing and all that. And there's guys out there that are envious and want to try and like duplicate it or shit. Fuck him. Like I got an even bigger house or even nicer car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole and this has been around ever since I can remember because as I was a kid, like I remember in school, like when one of my friends gets a new pair of shoes, right? And he gets like a fresh pair of Jordans. And for that day or for that week or whatever, he's like the most popular guy in the school because look at his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So like I guess it just stems from like going that far back and just like and you're right with the internet and social media becoming a daily and ongoing thing in this day and age, like it just makes things a lot worse. Like it makes
Yes.
material things matter more than the person.
Yes. We society has told us that money means everything. That if you wear, name brand shoes, clothes, that means that you're the shit. And so of course everybody wants attention, everybody wants like validation, right? And so that's why, um, yeah, that's why people work long hours, or they trying to hustle to, but that's what they're like. That's all you hear online, right? Oh, I'm gonna get the bag. I'm gonna get the bag. I'm gonna get the bag. But it's like, why? Just because you have a lot of money, that doesn't mean you're a good person. You wear nice, just because you look good on the outside, but does your inside matter? You know, and we're so focused on the outside and not focusing on the inside, which is why, we have, high divorce rates, why we can't even get along with one another, because we're too focused on material stuff, like you said. We're too focused on, aesthetics instead of, um, like our like mental health, our emotional, you know, well-being. Like,
Hmm. And to that point, right?
hmm
Um, I always say this, like if you're not in a good emotional state, then you don't need to be dating. You don't need to be trying to acquire somebody else so that you can bring your problems and your issues onto them, and or
yes,
vice versa, because you're already starting out unhealthy. Like you want to
yes,
start out, like I'm sure with you and your husband, like y'all started out very healthy, and there might have been at times, of course, like being together for so long, like not every moment and every day is going to be healthy. But if you start healthy, right? Two people coming together that are emotionally available and ready and is willing to do the work, then why you know that should be the standard. That should be the way to operate when it comes to meeting someone and trying to get to know them and dating them.
yeah, I agree, but then, I agree, but then sort of, I agree with the last part that you said, but then I'm gonna sort of disagree in the beginning because, and I think with a lot of times, we all are just like, as they say, life, and we all are just trying to get through life, day by day, and um and we don't work on ourselves. A lot of times we push down, how we really feel. We don't, we have problems and we just sweep it under the rug, and we just keep, we just keep on moving. And so, like, when I met my husband, like, we both, of course, have our own traumas and stuff that we didn't work on, but that's sort of the beauty of, finding someone that loves you. because, when you find someone that loves you, they help you with, to help you on, to sort of work through your trauma, and you help work, on their trauma. You both heal like together. I think that's better than like it than like trying to heal yourself on your own, because I feel like that's just, I'm not saying that's not good, but then I think it's just a lot better when you have someone there, like a support system. I think that tends to help with any kind of problems that you may have had, if like in your childhood or something, or relationships, or you know. I hope I made sense. Sorry.
Nah, listen. I value your opinions. I value your thoughts.
Oh,
So
thank you. I
you,
appreciate.
listen, I appreciate you because, like, again, like I was saying, and I was using you as an example of the standard of how relationships should be ran in this day and age. Like, uh, because of the fact that, like, you and your husband made it work. You and your husband, seems like y'all are in a happy marriage, a marriage that is very productive on both parts. You have your role, he has his role. You guys have, you're saying that you guys got three beautiful kids, and that's how in the family dynamic is great on your end. So, like, I think like I said, your values, your thoughts and opinions on anything regarding dating should be valid, should be looked at uh as I forget the word I was trying to say, but like you get what I'm saying. Like you
Yes.
you should be the one, like you should be the one that should be like giving out the game and giving out tips and everything like that when it comes to dating, because I'm pretty sure you and your husband has not stopped dating, right? Even though y'all have been married for a long time, because there's a lot of married couples, and my parents are a prime example of this. Is that they were married for around 30 something years, and I would say like the last 20 something out of those 30 years, right? They stopped dating. Like they were just like two humans living in under the same roof and just tolerating with each other. And that's all I saw growing up is my mother and my father both fighting with one another. Always it's always an argument. It's always, in a tone like, dad will raise his voice and moms will raise her voice. And then, back and be like, that's toxic.
Yes.
And I don't know why um I see that, and being young, like you're just thinking like, okay, well, this is how married couples is supposed to act, but it's not, because it really doesn't. It's not helpful for two people to always argue, to always always want to. They need to be right, as the late great Kevin Samuels used to eloquently put. Um, like we just gotta, I guess, learn how to communicate, learn how to know each other in and out, because and you can attest to this, right? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't marry your husband immediately. Like you got to know him, you got to see what he was about, both inside and outside, personality, emotion, all that stuff. So you were able to um, get a sense of how this man is going to benefit my life before um, you actually went through with it.
Yeah. Well, yes. And excuse me. I think the number one thing is that, see, like our parents from, like our parents' generation and the generation before that, what they value is marriage, right? Like longevity. And oftentimes, what happens is that they end up sacrificing like their so-called like happiness just for the sake of being, in a just being together, to hold like the family together. And so because we see that, growing up, so therefore we go, no, life is too short. Like if he doesn't make me happy, then I should go out and find someone else that will make me happy. So I think that's sort of like that's one of the reasons why, marriages don't last anymore, because we don't value marriages, because even though like nobody wants to be in a boring ass, relationship, right? And so um when there's no spark, there's no romance, like nothing, no fire, in a relationship, like you start to get depressed, and then you start to like just go downhill from there. And so um marriage is a lot of work. you know it's a lot of work. you know um can I say, I'm in a happy marriage? Overall, yes. That's why I'm still with him. But then, that's not to say sometimes I'm like, no, I'm not happy because I'm pissed at him. We just argued or whatever. But to say, overall, yes, you know. And I think a lot of times, because we're in the manosphere space, men, they love, some men, they love to say, oh, women always go, or they're not happy. I'm like, I think they're just not, when they say they're not happy, they're just not happy at that moment. But, give it a couple years, when they look back, they'll realize that, yeah, they were happy overall, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yep. hmm So I'm gonna pull up this gem from last year, and because I'm new to the space,
Okay.
but not new to YouTube, I'm gonna bring this, since we're on the subject of coffee dates and first dates and stuff. I'm gonna bring back this gem. You remember this gem, Zyrax? Hold on. Let- Because because when I saw this, right? When I saw this, and I talked about this at length on other panels and everything like that, and I really wanted to talk about this. Huh? Where did it go? Okay. Remember her?
No.
Can you see it on your end?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
So if you don't remember, well, this woman right here decided to pull out her phone in the middle of a first date. Okay, and check this out.
Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Okay.
Are you? You're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it?
First of all, again, the ego. Do you hear and see the ego come out of her mouth?
Yes.
Like you already know this is gonna go wrong. This is gonna be wrong because well, he was driving. He pulled up to the spot, right? Parked and everything. Got out the car, and she had her phone out, and she started recording, and she wouldn't let him open the door. Like she had locked the door, and then that's what prompted him to roll the window down, and then this conversation happened. Let's keep going.
I'm I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
And that right there, right? You see, so you see how this is bringing me back bad memories, because, well, not bad memories as far as like this, but like memories as far as like this got me triggered. Like, I was so triggered. Like, I think I went on Instagram, and I think on my Instagram there's still possibly a video about this that I did on live or whatever. But
Why
But
were you triggered? Because she wanted more than just she wanted more, or she thinks she's deserved better than Cheesecake Factory.
correct, because she thinks she is above going to a restaurant and sitting down. Now, granted, right? I only been to Cheesecake Factory maybe once or twice, and ate there maybe once. Now, as far as money wise, the cost, like, I'm pretty sure there are some things on that menu that's not cheap.
Yes.
So the fact that's what first triggered me. Like, the fact that she was saying that, oh, he was being cheap because he took it to the Cheesecake Factory. Now that's fucked up. Because how do you know that a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory is considered cheap? How would you know that?
Well, I think she knows that. That's why she goes, oh no, that's too, that's like McDonald's for her.
Which it isn't. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it was just like as beautiful as she looks, right, Zyrax? As beautiful as she looks, right? That could turn her ugly in a snap of a finger.
And that's, of course, that's and that's okay. If you're not drawn to that kind of stuff. See, a lot of times I feel like, I understand that these women are like, there's sometimes, and they tend to inflate their, ego, their value. But then I think there's a reason why they think like that, because they've had guys that were able to take them to, like 5-star restaurants or whatever. So that's why they're like, my past experience, I've had men take me, to these places, and you're going to take me to, Cheesecake Factory? Like, really? No. And so in a way, like, you can't really blame her for having that expectation, because she's been able to pull those kind of men.
I think that it seems like there was no communication beforehand on
Yes.
where do you want to go? Like, and that's another thing, right? Like, women don't want a man that's always, oh, where do you want to go? I don't know, where do you want to go? Okay, well, he's showing leadership skills to, put his foot down and be like, you know what, we're gonna go here. Now, if you don't like a place because of a bad experience, or you just don't like their food, or whatever the reason, other than the fact that, like, oh, it's this and I'm above this, then okay, that's valid. And that's when you as a woman could come in and be like, instead of Cheesecake Factory, let's do Red Robin's, or what's that Chinese spot that's always in a lot of malls?
Panda Express?
Okay, Panda Express. I was thinking something else, but okay, that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, offer, like, I don't know, like, let's see if she like does that. She offers up suggestions of her own, since she don't like the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Locked him out of his own car, right? I mean, damn. His car, and you gonna lock his ass out of his car. It's crazy.
So, yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her,
Again, ego. Her big ego is running rampant throughout this
That's a good
interaction.
sign. That should be a good sign.
You think that should be a good sign? Why do you think that should be a good sign? Is that right?
Well, she's letting you know right off the bat the type of person she is. So therefore, you as a man, should know that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Like,
right.
no, I'm not gonna
I
deal with
see
this
what
kind
you're
of woman.
saying now. I see
Mhm.
what. All right. I got
Yeah.
you. Because at first I was like, why? But yes. So okay. So valid. Because now, right? She's gonna put out this front, put out this ego trip. So if I was the guy, that would have been it. Like, I would have told her to get the fuck out the car. Like, okay, you show me who you are now. You're not the type of woman that I need in my life. So get the stepping. In the famous words of Martin Lawrence, get the stepping.
because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course.
That should be all, like, it shouldn't have to be said out loud. If I'm making sense, right? Like, all that, what both of them were just saying, like, that should be status quo. Like, yes, the man, his job is to protect, to keep you safe, to make sure that you are comfortable. Okay, cool. Like, but there's a way to go about it. But there's a way to not, like, make it seem like you're putting pressure on him to do all these types of things, but you don't even like him like that yet.
Which is why I said it's a that men should look at it as like a good thing, or refer to like a red flag, like right off the bat. You know, this just shows you that this woman, if you don't reach her high standards, then she's gonna, demean you. She's gonna, start saying this and that, saying that, oh, you ain't shit. Look, you're supposed to be doing this and this and this, and you're not doing this and this and this. And so, therefore, yeah. Next should have been the next thing, out of your mouth. Next, and
Yep.
And just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
And before she does her modern woman tactic, right? What did I do? This and that and everything. This is, like, you can tell that she's being very disingenuous. And she is, like, with the phone in her hand, she's trying to prove a point. Like, look at this clown that I'm with. Like, look at him. Like, do I just, like, you can just tell, like, again, like, the ego. It's just so out loud. It's just like, yo, you need to pipe it down a little bit. Now I get what you're saying. Like, yes, this is a good thing for the man, because now the man can decide that I ain't I ain't gonna deal with this, and I shouldn't. But let this be. But we playing this now, like it just goes to show, like with dating, like especially on the first date, like look at how you're acting. You're saying things that shouldn't even have to be said, because as a man and a woman, as adult man and adult woman, you should know decorum. Like the decorum, meaning that yes, the man's expectation is to be respectful to the woman, to court. I guess he was gonna open the door for her. He was going to like possibly sit at walk on the side of the road. The man nearest the street and the woman inside. All that, like he gets all that. And then on the woman's end, she should be able to respect him back, right? Be nice, be genuine, and enjoy the date.
For the most part, I think a lot of times men, you guys would, instead of setting your own standards, you guys tend to, you guys try to hit her standards. You try to sometimes even exceed, go above and beyond,
And
her standards.
you want to know why? You want to know why we do
Mhm.
that?
Go
We
ahead.
do that because there many times we look at the beauty, and that supersedes anything else about the woman. We
Well,
we are blindsided by the beauty, that for some guys, it doesn't matter if she has a shitty attitude. It doesn't matter if she has a big ego. It doesn't matter that she is coming along and trying to finesse you. It's the beauty that blindsides us, and gives and makes us like be more above and beyond than we should, because she ain't going above and beyond for us.
well
So that's
then at the end of the day, you have no one to to blame but yourself. Then it's not
in,
the
in, in,
woman;
those, in
it's
those
your
types
own
in
fault.
those types of cases,
Hmm.
yes. And I'm as a man, listen, I'm guilty. I have been guilty of being blindsided by the beauty, that I would damn near simp for a woman just because she's so fine. But then I realized, and it's not me taking a red pill. It's not me taking uh courses that like, oh, you need to be a better man, this and that. No, it is me learning from my experiences, reflecting, and then realizing, what, as I grow older, as I get more wiser and more aware of female nature and how these women are acting, now I don't give a damn about beauty as much anymore. Now I'm more about her character, her personality, her thoughtfulness, her ability to go to be there for me if I need something.
Yeah, see,
That,
and that's why, like I said earlier, that a lot of times I feel like it's the men's fault, even though they tend to, the space tend to blame it on women. It's the men because by the men, like, um, instead of having the woman, how do you say it, like, instead of having her try to live up to your standards, you try to live, up to her standards and try to go above and beyond. So that gives her, that's by you doing that, that's telling her that, yeah, I got it like that. I look good, and I could get any guy to do this for me. So therefore, that's why she's like, and that's where you get this entitlement attitude, because she knows that she could pull it because she did it before. So as a man, you should know how you should be able to like to sniff that out, from that woman. Like the moment she had, you said, "Oh, we're going to, chop to the Cheesecake Factory," and she makes it look, you should automatically know that, oh, okay, this woman, she has high standards. She only cares about what she wants. She don't care about what I want. She doesn't even care about, like how she know that like I have enough money or whatever. Oh, she's just expecting me to pay for all this. Oh no, fuck this shit, and just send her back home. Like no, that way, because only by rejecting her like that she'll know that, okay, I can't be doing this shit. And that's if she wants a relationship. Because a lot of times that's how we test, that's how we know if we belong in this, in this lane, or we belong in this lane. So if she's, she may be like, say, a 5, a 6, but then she's been able to pull men that are like, 9 or 10s, because they've been given it to her. They've been, because they are blinded by her beauty, as you said. Then yeah, then she's gonna think that she belongs in the, in the 9s and 10s, because men have been giving her that validation.
Jessica says she wasn't interested in him to begin with and wanted to go somewhere she couldn't afford to take herself. That's a fact. That is a fact. And you look at, right, and Jessica brings up a good point, right? She wasn't interested in him to begin with. I kind of felt like that too, especially
Yeah.
like if you like look at him, like, not to say that, you know what, this pairing could work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like looks wise, or she's a black woman and he seems like he's a Native American or Indian guy, or maybe Hispanic. I don't know, but at least she gave him a chance. Hence, she's in his car, and they thought that they were gonna go on a first date, but I agree with Jessica. Like I didn't see an interest. I didn't. Obviously it's noted that he's more interested in her than she is of him, and that's how usually most dating dynamics begin. Because guess who's the one that's actually doing shooting the shot? Who's the one that's approaching? Who are the ones that are almost always trying to get her to conform to your program, not the other way around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like that's a very good point she brought up. All right. Let's try to finish this.
Well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you.
I
Yeah.
can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again, I don't
we're
know
not there
yet.
Okay.
I bet you that if she was physically, sexually, emotionally attracted to him, when he put that hand out for her to grab on, she won't grab that hand. So even there, even from the jump, that should be, I wouldn't say a red flag, but that should be like an orange flag. That, whoa, you don't even want to hold my hand like as I'm picking you up for dinner. That to me, and I've had that happen before. Like, to me, that would be like, oh well, let's see how the dinner date goes, and then like we'll see after that, because that was weird.
The touching is kind of, it could be, the touching is, that's, I mean, it differs person to person, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing's for sure, if a woman likes you, and like you said, she's, physically attracted to you, sexually attracted to you or whatever, it doesn't matter where you take her. She's going to be happy. So if you go, oh, I'm going to take you to Cheesecake Factory, and she gives you a dirty look, yeah, that means that she's not really into you. That's just because if I like a guy, if I really like this guy or whatever, and he wants to takes me to McDonald's, I'm like, yeah, cool, because I like him. I want us to, I don't want to give off any kind of energy that, like, that I don't like him, that I'm not friendly, that I'm not easy to, to talk to get along with. And so, yeah, I would be okay with wherever he takes me. Now, if a chick doesn't, really like the guy or whatever, and she wants to go somewhere else, yeah, that means she's not interested in you. Maybe she just wants I don't know, a free meal and just dabble and see if, there's anything there. But I think, I don't even think that's worth investing or worth wasting your time on.
Where did your husband take you on you said coffee, right? It was like at a
Yeah.
Starbucks or something?
No, it's just a local, like, coffee shop.
Okay, so like a coffee shop that's in town, in one of the on the street and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Very, very intimate, simple. Okay. And yeah, like that's the thing, right? Because like when you are trying to when you're trying to meet someone, when you're trying to have some sort of like rapport with a person, like you want to do it as simple as possible. And something as simple as a coffee shop, a mom and pop coffee shop, in the middle of town, like that's how most marriages and long relationships, that's how they started, going back, 30, 40, however many years back that there were coffee shops, because those
Mhm.
were the type, that was the typical first date setting. Like that was it. You know what I'm saying? And it all reverts back to what I wanted to talk about in this whole episode is that, if women are saying, oh, I want a traditional man, I want traditional values. Well, you can't get more traditional than going to a local mom and pop coffee shop and getting to know each other over an espresso or black bean brewed coffee. I don't know what coffees they had back then, but I'm pretty sure most of them were like bean brewed and all that stuff.
Like Pete's Coffee or something like that.
Right. Like, it's funny to me now, which we want to scream, oh, I want traditional values and tradition this, tradition that, but yeah, they can't accept the coffee.
I think the thing is that when, women, of today, when they think of traditional, they think of, the traditional lifestyles, like stay home mom, but with the sort of lavish lifestyle. So if they want, I mean, it just goes back to what I said about men. You just have to know, who you are. If you meet a woman, you like her and stuff like that, and she's high class, she has a high standard of living. Can you afford that? If you can't afford it, then yeah, let her go. Because that's what she's going to expect from you.
So
It's
look, the
just simple as that.
Degenerate was good.
Hey, what's up, Lurpo?
The link is in the chat if you want to pull up D. We're gonna finish this one. Yeah, I like to get his thoughts about this.
He's always talking about the modern woman.
But
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself
there's
all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my plan where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See.
Well. Okay. So my man's here he was playing the game too. I forgot about this part. So my man's here he had a plan to take her someplace that she probably would have liked, but now he was shit testing her, and she is clearly failing his shit test. Wow. You guys, what do you think about that, Zyrax?
Sorry, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what dating is all about, right? Just sort of test. You're trying to vet the person. You're trying to test one another to see if this person will rise to the occasion or not. So, maybe he was testing her to see if she's a high, she's one of those high status women, or expects you to, do all this stuff for her. I see nothing wrong with it. You should test one another before you decide to marry that person.
Yep.
I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long.
What does that sound like to you? So he was waiting on her for an hour, to which that's way too long. I give you 30 minutes max. If you ain't downstairs and in my car by 4:30, I'm finding another chick to go out on a date with. You just lost your turn. Unless there is a legit excuse, life happens, or something that would make me feel like, okay, you know what, that's valid. We can reschedule, or we can try at a later time.
I'm not gonna lie, I run late all the time, my whole life.
Oh, not Zyrax, not that you run late all the time. Like, so what is it? Like, you doing your makeup, or you just trying on outfits to see which one fits you, which one doesn't make you look too bloated or something like that? Like, what is it?
The weird thing is, it's not even that, because I don't I've never been like a makeup person, and like clothes person, but it's just that I just have to take care of my family. So sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, I could go out, and then when it comes close to that time, oh, my mom needs something, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta wash dishes real quick, I gotta clean the house real quick, and so then I get sidetracked.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, as long, like I said, as long as you're like that. Well, so when you was dating, right? Or running late, like, is that at least communicated? Like, at least, like, because it didn't seem like she was communicating with him that, hey, I know you're outside. I got to finish up some things. Like, I'll be out in a second, or I'm coming, or whatever. Like, she had him waiting, without any communication, it seems like. And that's, what are we doing? Like, why are you not, as a woman, why are you not communicating with that man? Because I'm pretty sure if you was the one waiting on him to arrive, you wouldn't have waited an hour. I'm pretty sure at least, or no, not at least, at the most 10, 15 minutes. If he ain't at your door, then fuck him. I'm deleting his number, blocking, boom, moving on to the next one.
And that's fair. To me, that's fair. with me. I mean, I
Right,
would invite
especially
him in, and
if
then
he
he could
doesn't
wait
communicate.
inside the house.
Yeah, if he
Like,
doesn't communicate, then if he
mhm.
doesn't let you know, yo, I'm running behind, I got stuck in traffic or work got caught up, whatever, then okay. Then it's up to her whether or not she wants to still wait or move on.
Yes.
I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
That is not possible.
and that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been,
Okay.
but if we're late, I told you twice.
Late. It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be.
Oh.
And this is what a lot of these modern ass women do. They fail to be accountable. They think that, oh, just because we're running late, that means that it doesn't matter about the time of the reservation. We gonna get there when I'm ready to get there, and they gonna still see us anyway because I'm a woman and I matter much more than just the next person that has the next time reservation slot or that table, whatever. Nobody else matters but me. Selfish, unaccountable is just recipe for disaster. And my man, that conversation shouldn't even gone on this long. Like, I'm already tuned out. I'm already like just over this woman and just like, you know what? You cute and all, but there's a dime a dozen of y'all out here. So I'm gonna choose the next one.
Hmm. I agree.
All right, let's finish this out.
And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot
I mean,
and waiting for a reservation.
we can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, the
No.
equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you don't
said,
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
there's nothing wrong with
I will die. That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain.
Who raised this woman talking about it's embarrassing to go inside a Cheesecake Factory? So it's embarrassing to go inside a restaurant? Like, I really hope this was a year ago, but I hope for this woman's sake, like, I hope her mindset is a lot better than this. I really hope so, because she looks back at this, she sees herself like in the foolishness that she's spewing. Like, I'm hoping that she's doing better a year later than this, because this is just ridiculous at this point.
Expectations for that. I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So, you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, I have a lady on the panel right now, and no, she can't believe you right now. Like, this is your own doing. Like, don't cry out to the sisterhood and try to hold my man's accountable and say, oh, this is all his fault. No, the accountability should be on you. Like, can you show some?
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, yeah, I'm not gonna like. There's, there are a lot of women and men, that,
Mhm.
yeah, just think that they are, that they just got it like that, and that you should be doing everything for them because they're the prize, not you. You know, and again, that's where if you don't like those kind of those traits in a person, let them go. No matter how beautiful they are, let them go.
That part.
But if I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You really leaving?
So now my man is growing. He's growing a pair, and he's like, you know what? Nah, damn that. If you think you're embarrassed to go inside the Cheesecake Factory, well, guess what? We ain't going on no date at all. We taking your ass right back home. And look how her face just like went from, yeah, you see this, ladies? Yeah, like what is wrong with this guy? To wait, what? You're taking me back home? Why? What? Like now going into the whole like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Like, you know how I mean you have kids, like how when a kid is like
Yeah, they're trying to play it off, act like
trying to,
they're
yeah,
not the
exactly.
one that did something.
And then when you call their bluff, they want to get sad and like trying to make you feel bad.
Yeah, trying to guilt trip you and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My man saw right through that. Good job on him.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been.
So now you understand why you would now. So now after now, he's gonna take your ass right back to the crib, and you ain't going out with him. Now it's okay. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna show a little bit of accountability here. Yeah, it is my fault that I was late. This and that. No, too late now. Too late.
I will say this too. A lot of times, you men, sometimes when we, we'll go, oh, I'm sorry about this. A lot of times you men go, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. So therefore, it tells her that, oh, you don't have a problem with this.
Right.
If you have a problem with something, then yeah, make sure you voice it. Make sure you say, not what you did is not okay. Just like now, when what he's doing right now. Like, no, you're disrespecting me. You're not good. You're doing this and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you have to point that shit out and stop going, oh no, it's okay, because it's not okay. If it bothers you, let that person know that it bothers you and it's not right for them to treat you that way. So that way they, the other person will learn to change either their behavior or to stop doing it.
A bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
You called it, Zyrex. Did you hear that part?
Yes.
But I will say he's sorry, but yet he's still standing 10 toes down, and he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm sorry, but you still gotta go home, boo. Nope. I can't hang out with you anymore. Good for him.
Yep, gotta put your feet down.
Exactly.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. I understand where you're coming from.
So there you have it. Now she want to feel bummed out. Now she wants to feel bad because I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or whatnot. Nope. good on him. But it just goes to show, like, with this whole oh, I got some comments. So D agrees with you, Zyrax.
You better. No, I'm kidding.
I like how y'all banter back and forth. He also says, "Don't even waste your time." I'm assuming that he's talking about the guy not wasting his time on her, but
Hmm.
he came back with some laughing emojis right back at you. But there you have it, guys. I guess I'll yield my final thoughts to you, Zyrax. But let me just say this before you go: is that to put a bow on that video, on that Cheesecake Factory fiasco. For the men, like, know what you're getting into before you even accept a date. Like, if you was to want to ask her out on a date, then ask her, like, what is a typical first date setting for you, and go from there. I think if those questions are asked before, before all that happens with what we saw in the video, all of that could have been avoided. Zyrax, any final discussion or thoughts that you want to bring to the table before we wrap up here?
I will say this, like a lot of, if a man has the money to take her out, to a five-star restaurant to impress her, by all means, do that if you have, if you have the means to do it. But I would say even if you have the means to do it, don't do it, because then that means that you're setting a high bar for not only for her but then for yourself. And so she's going to expect that each and every single time. And so when you don't come through, she's going to think that oh, you're broke ass, or oh, you can't even do this. You've been doing this, but then now you can't do it no more. So then it's going to cause, problems. So, you should always start, um, not like super low or anything, but just the basics. And coffee date, I think, is, should be the first step. Go for coffee, get to know one another, stuff like that. See if, you like to see if, you vibe with that person. And then, and then go from there and work your way up, because you women may see that, I mean, a man spending a lot of money on her. Yeah, a woman, may see that as like a good thing, but I don't. I think they only see it as, it's just affluent, how do you say, affluent emotion, as like, yeah, they feel happy at that moment. But then, do you think like a year from now they're gonna go, oh yeah, remember when you did all this for me? Like, no, you know. They're not. Then, they're not gonna really, especially when you guys are just in the dating phase. So yeah, like, if you want to, um if you want to, like, go above and beyond for her, make sure she means something to you. Make sure she's your girlfriend, your wife, someone that you want to spend your life with. Then, go all out on her. Don't go all out on just, someone that you don't know, that you're just trying to, get to know, and you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. And that's all I gotta say. Coffee date, yes, 100%.
You have it, Lady Zyrax. Always coming with the knowledge, the game, the truth about dating, about men and women, about pretty much everything that goes on when it comes to this whole sexual marketplace. Agree 100% with you. You know, always valid stuff, always valid points coming from you, and yeah, I definitely agree. Uh, Coffee date, smoothies, sit down at the park. The weather's getting, summer's over. The weather's getting a little bit colder now. Now you can be able to Well, I guess not here where I'm at. I mean, it's still hot as a devil's dick out here. But everywhere else, starting to cool down. It's starting to, become like that fall, like that crispy air type of thing. Like, cuffing season is coming. So, ladies, if he asks you to go to coffee, stop being above coffee dates because you never know. It's about the person. It's not about the actual date. It's about getting to know that person. It's about building a rapport, building a connection, building something to where, like, if you don't want to spend, like, these next few months when it gets cold, and I don't want to go all the way down the rabbit hole that the late great Kevin Samuels used to own, and that the winter is coming. For a lot of ladies, winter is here, and for men too. Winter is here for men too. So it's universal through both genders, and I think that hopefully to any ladies that are watching this and that are coming out of this is that, listen, it's not about being cheap. It's not about trying to finesse you as just as much as you trying to finesse me out of my money, right? It's about having a small setting, just you and her, or just her and him, right? And just getting to know one another. And so with that, coffee dates are always going to still be a thing with me. Now, again, I don't do actual coffee, but I will go to a coffee shop and, order a juice, a smoothie, if they have smoothies there too. Like some coffee shops have smoothies as well, what have you. My point of it all is that if she's above a coffee date, and if you're the type that want to take her on coffee dates, find someone who will accept it. Because as Jessica from earlier, she is for coffee dates. Lady Zyrax, she's for coffee dates. There are women out here, my homegirl Joy in the background, she is for coffee dates too. Matter of fact, we met at a smoothie shop, and we met, had a good date. We sat down, we got to know one another. That's the main point, is that it's not about the money. It's not about, I'm too, like that chick in the last video, I'm too embarrassed to go to a restaurant. Well, then fuck you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. But that's all I got. I think we are good to go on that. Zyrax, I appreciate you as always coming on and helping
Thank you for having me.
show, be a show. Because I thought I had more people come on panel, and after last week, I had it all going, but that's technology for you. Sometimes technology is going to fail you, and it is what it is. And I had to reschedule this, so I'm glad we got it in. But my next episode, episode 8. I don't have a date, so that's why I don't have a date for the stream, not a date and as in an actual date. But episode 8 will be shown. I want to say sometime within the next couple of weeks. Episode 8 will be a baseball related episode. I think I'm going to name it the Travel Ball Epidemic. So for those that are watching, I do need a couple of people to come on panel to talk about the travel ball epidemic that is rampant among amateur youth sports. So stay tuned for that. As far as the dating series and relationship series, episode 9 will be something along the lines of dating, going back to it. So I want to make my platform, be dating, talk about dating, men and women and all that, but also a sports component to it as well, because I got a lot of things to say about the sports world as far as the youth goes. So stay tuned for that. Zyrax, thank you again for coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. And for those of you, don't forget to like on your way out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. I'm trying to get 50. Let's on the road to 50, and then once we hit 50, and we go on the road to 100. So we're slowly but surely we're here. I'm here, and I will be here just as long as you two will let me. So that being said, that is the end of episode 7. I appreciate you guys coming on, and as always, salute to y'all. Love you guys. Adios.